All right, in this episode, we talk about ankle extension, ankle rotation. What is it for the pitcher?
And are weighted vests enough to build the freak athlete?
Stephen Godani here at the @TopVelocity #PitchingTips show, where you go to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat at Top Velocity, #PitchingTips, #Baseball Tips. Ask your question, we answer on the show. Like I always ask, subscribe, follow, help share this, keep this going for us. Sorry we got a bunch of maniac kids out there in the facility today, the holidays, doing a little kids camp. And they're playing dodgeball right now, nothing related to baseball.
It's a maximum throwing program.
Right now. It's our new maximum throwing program.
Running throws.
It's our running throws. It's dodgeball. We all play dodgeball to work on velocity, right? Just kidding. All right, cool. So if you haven't already, check us out at topvelocity.net, 3X, 2X programs. And this is where we take your question, we answer them the best we can, and then you keep asking more questions, and we keep this all going. It's been great so far. So here we go. What's the question for today?
El Caballete asks, how can I extend my ankle and rotating at the same time?
This is a really good question, and there's a specific component that I call foot sync that's in the 3X Pitching Velocity program that defines this entire movement. Basically, your feet have to be in sync. High velocity pitchers move their feet together. But as you move in what we call the corneal plane, in that lateral movement down the mound, as we load and drive the leg, we are going to just extend the back leg ankle into triple extension, but we do have to make sure rotation is a part of that. If we hold the knee in torsion, we're already twisting it externally. So the reaction is going to want to be internal rotation. If we hold it into torsion and we drive going forward, it's going to want to internally rotate. So there is some rotation coming out of torsion, but at the same time too, triggering more hip rotation with the front foot is key, meaning just before you land, you open the foot almost all the way, right? Just before you land, where you open that foot, that leg is off the ground. It's going to start rotation. You fully drive into that opening or with that opening, and that, torsion, external rotation, internal rotation, you'll create all that rotation out of that position. So all you do have to think is extension. If you hold torsion as you move forward, and you think extension as you trigger hip rotation by opening your front foot, rotation should be the product of that. Meaning extension really powers the rotation that it's occurring from the torsion release and the opening of front foot. Can be complicated. If you get the 3X Pitching Velocity programs, you can learn more about that, but that's the approach to a back leg drive or triple extension, creating internal rotation in the process. Anything you want to
add? Just a good drill that helps teach that is the sled drive drill with the football and we put a football pretty much like in the middle of the foot, and you have your sled pulling you back here, and you bring yourself down into torsion or fall into torsion, and then you're going to drive out of that, and the goal is to not drag your back foot to where it kicks the ball. So it really teaches you how to get the foot rotation.
Yeah, but you don't hip. And that's great to make sure that it's working, but you're not thinking rotation in your drive. You're thinking extension as long as you've timed it with torsion and the opening of the front foot, and the football's there to tell you if you did it effectively.
Exactly.
All right, next question.
Tyler Longtoss asks, what is your opinion on beach or weight vest drills? For example, sprints, ladders, cones, etc. Good to build explosive lower half?
All right, Tyler. We talked about weighted vests in the program as a good way to load plyometric movements. And yes, sand work is really great to make it harder to generate force in the lower half through these plyometric movements, even sprinting and we love that. And that's a part of our anaerobic conditioning programs, which is really to condition more of that phosphagen explosiveness. So it's really kind of just as a peripheral program that should help us buffer more of the energy to be fast twitch explosive athletes. But it doesn't allow us to enhance our power to weight ratios where we can activate more motor units and generate more force out of our bodies. It just helps us buffer more energy to do that more consistently. So an anaerobic conditioning program using a vest, using a beach, is really there to help us have more reps in that anaerobic environment or anaerobic training. But it's not a substitute for Olympic lifting or heavy load plyometric lifting, which is Olympic lifting, to where we can really maximize mechanical power and dynamic movement well above any weighted vest or beach workout would ever do for us. Does that make sense? It should just complement the Olympic approach to help us buffer more anaerobic energy.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add?
I think Brent nailed it there. I'll take like dumbbells to load my plyometrics, take the vest to load my plyometrics, wear a vest for when I do pull-ups, when I want to weight it, just to make
Sleds.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of stuff that you can do to load it and make it harder for
Parachutes.
yourself, and it is helpful. And we
Jumping out of a pool.
Whoa, I don't know if I can do that one. But yeah, you can do all those things to make it harder and make yourself more explosive. But like Brent's saying, it isn't a substitute for Olympic lifting. Even since I've been down here, I've just become even more of an Olympic lifting enthusiast because I've seen what it does for people and how it really is the best way to bust past your genetic limits. Just nothing can beat it.
Yeah, you'll never do that with a weighted vest on a beach and a pogo jump. It's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. You got to use Olympic lifting if you want more mechanical power in your body.
Yep.
If genetically you can already touch or elbow rim, you can already 360 dunk, then you don't need it. You could just do
until you get old.
Until you get old, right? Until your genetics shut down or your body can't do it anymore. You can do weighted vests and beach workouts with plyometrics, and that's enough. But if you got to be honest with yourself, if you can honestly say, based on my genetics, just look at my father, he could, I'm probably going to throw 85 at tops, and you want to throw 90. The weighted vest, beach workouts, it's not going to be enough. You need a lot more, and that's where the explosive plyometric or the heavy load plyometric training, Olympic lifting, comes into the equation and becomes a necessity because there's really no alternative at that point. Okay, good question. If you have another question, go to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, at Top Velocity, hashtag Pitch Tips, ask your question. We answered on the show. Come down to ABCA convention in Nashville, hang out with us January 7th to 10th. If not, check us out at topvelocity.net. Looking for your next question. We'll see you on the next episode.